Vinyl plank is no doubt our most popular hard surface that we sell here.
Yes.
And there's two options of vinyl plank. There is glue down, which looks like this.
Yep.
But, you know, flimsy, something like that. And then you got click together plank. Let's talk about which is right for each type of people, because I think most people just go automatically to, you know, the click type of plank because they think that's the best because it's thicker, it's got to be better or something like that. So let's describe them both. When we go in and install this, what kind of floor prep is needed? What kind of houses are we installing this in? How does it install? Like, walk me through that.
Yeah, so most residential homes, the click flooring is a great option. There is a decent amount of prep. The floor, because it's all clicked together and it's floating, you need to get rid of any low spots, high spots, because then they'll cause the floor to bounce.
So if you, like, what we see, if there's an issue, it's probably because there's a dip in the floor.
Correct.
And then there's a locking mechanism over that dip, and then, you know, somebody steps on it or a chair goes on it and it breaks the locking mechanism, and then suddenly we have all kinds of opportunity for issues. That's why floor prep is so important, right? Like, why should we invest in that? Because it's gonna mean that our floor lasts a long time.
Correct. And so what goes into that are things like sanding down seams in basements. If we're putting the click flooring, a lot of times we'll use a self-leveling surface or like emboss the floor to get that nice and flat. And yes, same idea is that you just don't want any low spots that click is gonna bounce and eventually break and pull apart.
And it's, you know, this can be different shapes. That's why we've got some tile here.
Some tile looks and some wood looks.
And that can be both glue down too. Like you can glue this down and grout it.
Glue down LVP is a great option too. A lot of times if the floor has enough movement in it where you're not gonna get it flat enough to be within warranty, and that's probably the biggest thing for us and our installers is we want everything to be within warranty. And so they are pretty strict on what that is. And so a lot of times a glue down is gonna be your best option because it's gonna bend and move that floor a little more. And the great part is you're still getting the same surface, you're still getting the same durability. It's still a waterproof floor. And so it can be a great option for a lot of homeowners. And then the great part about the glue down as well is it's individual planks that don't get clicked together. So if there is issues with an individual plank, someone drops the steak knife and gouges the floor, that one plank can be peeled up and taken out and then a new plank installed.
So like best use cases for glue down, I would say like my favorite part about it is it feels very solid. Like when you have a good glue down install, like the feeling is great when you walk on it because there's no movement, there's no give up and down. It's just like, it's solid,
and it's deceiving, right? Because you're holding that right now and it's like, wow, this feels really cheap and flimsy. But really it's the same product that you're seeing here. It just doesn't have the backing to it that this one does. And so again, the quality of the scratch resistant, the fact that it's waterproof, and the look and feel are all the exact same.
So I think about like entryways are great for glue down. I had this in kind of like an entryway utility room that had a slope and a drain. It was perfect, right?
Yeah, it's a great solution for laundry rooms if you want to finish off your laundry room because they're typically going to have a drain in there. And so businesses, it's a great option for businesses. It's another great option if you have office space in your home where you're working in a chair that has wheels that's rolling around. Click flooring is not rated for rolling loads of any kind. The glue down can be a great option for that as well, which also makes it great for small businesses or businesses in general because it can hold up to that heavy traffic and the rolling loads.
Yeah, well you mentioned it before, but also like if one of these gets damaged for some reason, you use a heat gun, it comes up, right? And you put another one down. That's a big deal because if anything happens to your click plank, you're literally taking your whole room apart and then you got
unclicked, and it's even the other little things that you don't think about. It's like, I have to click to get to that one, but that click mechanism isn't designed to go together and come back apart, go together and come back apart. So a lot of times it breaks, or with click flooring, you have to add base shoe around the edges to cover any sort of gaps along your baseboards. And so you end up having to pull off base shoe. So now you're pulling off trim, you're replacing extra planks that aren't actually damaged, which makes that glue down another reason why it's such a great option.
Yeah, I mean there's pros and cons of each one here, right? Like the con of glue down is it takes a lot more floor prep potentially than.
It's just more to install. It's not necessarily a do-it-yourself install. The click can be a do-it-yourself. The click can be a less prep if you have the right subfloor, and it can be a great option for a lot of homeowners. And so the click's still the majority of what we put in because we are able to make that subfloor work and the flatness of it work. But a glue down's another great option if you're kind of in a bind too.
Yeah, so like in my basement, I have a click in kind of a bar area because the cement was flat. It was just really simple to just like, let's put this down in this area. There was no issues, no concerns. I'm good to go with that. It was the perfect option. Where it kind of been probably a bit of an overkill just from an install perspective of doing this potentially. Pros and cons of each of them. We probably do, the majority of residential that we do is click.
It's a click flooring.
80% probably residential is click. It's a great product. It lasts a long time. It looks super good. Like there's so many options. It's crazy.
Tons of tile look options, wood look options. It really does. The one thing with the click too is that the majority of click have like what's called a beveled edge, which gives it kind of that real hardwood look. And not all the glue downs come with that. Some do, some don't. And so it's a great option for a real true like wood look in your home while having the durability of the LVP.
So this does have a pad. I think that's something interesting to talk about.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily going to make your house quieter, right? Or the floor softer. That's not the intent of it, but there are some benefits to that. Like some of the things that I've heard is that potentially if it's like on a main floor with a pad, it could be quieter underneath. As someone walks, I've heard that.
No, and
like,
that's exactly what the pad's for. It softens the floor under your foot. You probably wouldn't notice it unless you're standing one on a glue down and one on a
It's not like
click.
Oh, this is the nice soft.
So it's not that big of a difference, but yeah, it is a little softer underfoot. It does make it a little quieter, and so it can be a great option, like you said, for that main level home.
Cool. Well, that's kind of a casual chat. Click versus glue down. Like we said, the majority of residential we do here in Rochester is click. So we have had great success with it. When we come in, we do the pro install and we get it done right, the floor prep done right, we get it set up, ready to rip. We also have great success with this. When you install that properly, it performs really well also. So 2 good options.
My best advice to you is talk to a professional, get their opinion, get their guidance. We do offer free measures, so it could be a great way for us to come out and just help you decide which is best for your home or your residence or your business.